Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about the meeting that I went to this morning. So I heard about this group called Indivisible from Jessica Craven. I don't know if you follow her, love her, love her. They have chapters all over the country. They were formed in 2016 as a response to the god-awful shit that Trump was doing in America then. And they have continued to operate as a grassroots organization all around the country. And an East Portland group has formed. And so I went to their meeting this morning, and I want to tell you a little bit about what that meeting was like, what it looks like to be an American citizen operating on a local level within your community to fight fascism. So first of all, the meeting was completely packed. They had a lot more people than they expected, and it was standing room only. I stood in the back. And I want to get into this more in another video, but the majority of folks who were there were boomers who were like ready to fight for democracy, ready to fight for their grandkids, ready to fight for their community, both Portland and the entire nation. Folks had lots of questions, mostly, how do we stop the coup? Like, we're ready to go. Give us some action items. What do we do? And so, they were addressing successful strategies for how to call your reps. But for most of us at that meeting, our reps are Jeff Merkley, Ron Wyden, and Dr. Maxine Dexter. And all of them are already doing all of the things they need to be doing. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't be calling them. They keep a tally when you call, and that's why I have been urging folks, even if all of your reps are blue, you need to be on the horn with them every day, leaving feedback about whatever it is that is in the top of the news cycle, whatever is going to be discussed on the floor that day, whatever urgent issues that you think that they need to be in support of. Even if you know they're already in support of it, you need to call and tell them so that they can have a record. Because your elected officials, they are supposed to represent the will of their constituents. And so they need a mandate. They need a representative sample. They need to hear the voice of their constituents. So that's one thing we discussed. Another thing we discussed was direct actions, how to get organized and build a network that can work together more cohesively and therefore be more strategic and more effective, which is exactly what I've been saying. Somebody was in my comments earlier this morning being like, just leave all your shit, come to DC and protest. Just like more white people need to be abandoning their lives and just showing up on the streets of DC. And I was like, I appreciate your enthusiasm. I really appreciate it. But, the 3.5% rule is not just about number of bodies. We know that there has to be an organized resistance behind it. We can't have just like a mishmash of people coming and marching for a day or no coordination whatsoever. So a significant part of organizing is getting organized, right? And I really saw that from this meeting this morning, the desire to be organized and strategic. If we want to be effective, we have to be organized and we have to have a cohesive plan, one that people will buy into in sufficient numbers that we can reach the threshold for participation. And so that there is all of the lattice work and structure behind that 3.5%, holding them up, keeping things organized, being ready to follow through with what comes next. Because we all know it's going to take more than just one day of protesting on this. No hate to the 50 marches at the 50 capitals. Yes, we want to raise awareness. And I think those kinds of marches are good for building connections and boosting morale. But if we want to talk about effective change, it's going to take a mass movement of American citizens, or even not even citizens, of folks who live in America, right? It is when a percentage of the population, not just a percentage of citizens, shows up in an organized movement and is willing to strike for as long as it takes. We know that authoritarian regimes topple very quickly in that scenario, but not when there is a disjointed mishmash of people just, like showing up with no cohesive plan, no ask. You have to have an ask, and you have to have follow through. So I just want to encourage everybody who is in my comments and asking, like, what do we do? What do we do? Where's our leadership? If we feel that our electeds are not giving us proper direction, like, who do we look to? I would highly recommend signing up for Indivisible. You can go to mobilize.us/Indivisible, or you can just go to indivisible.org and you can find your local group. You can also go to their main website and there's an action item every day. There are things that you can do every single day. And this group was founded by, I believe, 2 senators' aides, and there is organization behind it. There is experience behind it. And for those of us who are like, we don't want to reinvent the wheel, we don't really know what to do, we need to trust folks who have been doing this for a long time. This group has been active since 2016. And if you're like, Indivisible is not the group for me, okay, find the group that is for you. There are so many ways. There's such a diversity of ways that we can plug in. We don't all have the same role. Not everybody is meant to go to protests. I mean, everybody can be calling their electeds, but not everybody has financial resources to contribute. We all have different health needs, childcare needs, obligations in our lives that mean there are going to be different ways that we plug in. We all have unique skill sets and experience that we can bring to the party. It's going to take a diversity of experiences, ideas, skills, strategies, and ways to plug in to be effective. We are there's hundreds of millions of us who oppose this regime. And we've all got something to contribute. We all have a unique gift that we can provide. And you don't have to feel like, oh, if I can't show up to a protest, there's nothing I can do. Oh, if Indivisible is not the group for me, then I'm not going to do anything. I promise you, there's a group that you can plug into. Your local ACLU chapter, your local League of Women Voters, your local DSA, whatever it is, look up in my area, like enter your zip code and then say community organizing. And I want to take some time today specifically in the next few videos to talk about, I'll probably keep talking about it every day, to talk about one question that came up repeatedly in that group. And I tried to share my experience and my perspective, which was how do we reach Republican senators and congresspeople? If we know that what is happening is Elon Musk is usurping the authority of Congress, and we know that the Democratic senators are mostly all on board, except for Fetterman, but how do we reach those other folks? How do we reach those red senators and congresspeople? And I have talking points. I have thoughts. I've tried to share them. They're kind of buried in longer videos. So I want to make a series of shorter videos today about what to say when you call. And if you don't have a red senator or a red rep, what do you do then? How do we reach those folks? I have thoughts. So please come back because I'm going to be talking about it for the rest of the day today and probably ad nauseum going forward because I think it's really important to get the message out. Congress still has power. Our Republican reps in Congress have chosen to abdicate that power to hand it over to an unelected South African. With no security clearance, no experience, no authority, no constitutional right. It is illegal for him to be doing what he's doing, and it is going to take persuading Congress to take back the powers that are delineated to them in the Constitution. So I want to talk about that. So come back.